the pit in Albuquerque. It was, in fact, the most emotional moment we've had, I think, on ESPN Boxing, and you're seeing why. An outpouring of love to this young man who's had his troubles, but boy, he's come back from them.
When he was 7, he survived a van crash that killed 2 others. When he was 8, his mother was raped and murdered. He spent Christmas of '93 in jail, heavy cocaine use, had his boxing license suspended. But since he's remained clean, in 1993, he's 17-0 with 11 knockouts, and he's making his 9th title defense.
It is a remarkable story for Johnny Tapia. Let's see how he can do it in the ring. What will he need to do in order to win this bout?
The AutoZone keys to victory.
All right, let's take a look. For Johnny Tapia, the power jabs. He's been working on that with his trainer. Use the jab to work his way in against a taller opponent. Hook to the body. His hooks are very important for him. For Diaz, got to stay focused and work his way through all of the hoopla here today. And his height. The fact that he's a taller fighter than Tapia's used to facing, they think will be an edge to him.
Tapia has 81 rounds of championship boxing under his belt, 249 in his career. This will be his 41st professional fight. We are set for the introductions. Here's our ring announcer, Thomas Traber.
Ladies and gentlemen, live right here on ESPN, Top Rank Boxing and Press Pez Production, along with the undefeated king of beers, Budweiser, proudly present to you our featured bout. It is scheduled for 12 rounds, and it is for the WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship of the World. It is sanctioned by the New Mexico State Athletic Commission and the World Boxing Organization. The commissioners are Stan Gallup, Lee Dow, Louis Burke, and Juan Nunez. Chairman is Joe Boggio, and the event coordinator is Max Abeda. Representing the WBO is Vice President Rudy Paz. Keeping time will be our timekeepers, Terry McDowell, and counting for the knockdowns is Tina Nunez. The physician at ringside is Dr. Edward Cruz, and the judges assigned for this title bout are Rocky Burke of New Mexico, Hugo Panache of Yucatan, Mexico, and Al Munoz of Arizona. When the bell rings, the referee in charge of this 12-round title bout will be Al Martinez. Introducing to you first, the challenger, fighting to my right out of the red corner. He's wearing the white trunks with the blue trim and weighed in at 114.5 pounds. Hailing from Huigalpa, Chontales, Nicaragua, he has a professional record of 25 wins, just 2 losses, 1 draw, 13 coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Adonis El Morocho Cruz. And his opponent fighting directly across from him out of the blue corner. This afternoon, he's wearing black trunks with gold trim and weighed in at 114 pounds. Hailing from right here, Albuquerque, New Mexico, he is undefeated with 38 wins, no losses, 2 draws, 23 coming by way of knockout. Making his 9th world title defense, I introduce to you the current WBO Junior Bantamweight Champion of the world, Johnny the Babyfaced Assassin Tapia. Once again, here's your referee, Al Martinez, now to give the instructions.
Let's take a look at the rules as governed by the WBO.
And we look at no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. You cannot be saved by the bell except in the final round. Winner gets 10 points, loser 9 or less. 3 judges at ringside will score the bout, and if there's an accident clash of heads that causes the bout to be stopped, they'll go to the scorecards, but only after 5 rounds.
4,500 fans on hand here at the Tingley Coliseum.
Okay, Johnny, we already discussed the rules. I want you guys to obey my rules, my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck to both of you.
This one's scheduled for 12. They love Johnny in Albuquerque. In his career, Tapia has 6 first-round knockouts. However, he has not recorded a first-round knockout in his last 23 fights. You have to go back to March 16th of 1990 against Antonio Garcia. That's 6 years, 8.5 months. Adonis Cruz has 3. We'll find out how good a road warrior Cruz is. Tapia already charging out of his corner. They're underway.
Tapia will probably test him a little bit in this round. Now look at these boxers. Look at how tall Cruz is. As tall as Tapia, maybe even an inch more. Traditionally, it's been the taller guys that have given Tapia a little bit of trouble. He works very well against the shorter fighters in his weight division. He's just gone up in weight. He's seen more taller guys.
Alexis Arguello says that Cruz will give Tapia side-to-side movement he will not be able to handle.
Well, Tapia, though, is a very mobile boxer himself. He's not a one-dimensional guy that's just boring in on you. But Cruz is establishing the fact that he's going to make Tapia come to him in this bout. Sometimes it is otherwise.
I chronicled Tapia's wild life. That's what it says in the back of his trunk. Mi vida loca, which is my wild life in Spanish, my crazy life.
Well, he has added some sanity to it in the last few years. Certainly inside the ring, he has kept things under control, and he is going after Cruz using the hook, which is a good point for him.
And you know, you talk about the unknown, Al, and Adonis Cruz isn't unknown in his first fight ever out of Nicaragua. You remember when we were in Indio, California in October, we saw Danny Romero, and he was tested by an unknown quantity.
He was indeed. It's very difficult in this weight class for boxers to get in there and dominate fighters. Carmichael Carbajal is below this weight class, but in a small weight class for years. He's kept winning and winning, but always having tough fights. Guys come up and they're always good.
A low blow from Tapia, and he was complaining to the referee Al Martinez that Cruz was holding his head down, and rightfully so.
And how about Romero when he fought Willie Salazar and was derailed temporarily? Of course, now he's very much back on track, as we saw. Cruz has been tight here in round one. Tapia's taken advantage of it to some degree, and we can look for more of this if Cruz doesn't start getting off offensively. You need to establish something early against Tapia, or else he becomes a machine in there.
Tapia has been by far the aggressor here in round one.
Since he had a tough match with Arthur Johnson, Johnny Tapia has really put it together. I mean, he has been tremendous in his last 5 or 6 fights.
Final seconds of round one scheduled for 12. Johnny Tapia, his 9th title defense. It has been all Tapia in round one. A crowd of 4,500 at the Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque, New Mexico to see Johnny Tapia in his 9th title defense. Round 2 underway against Adonis Cruz. The WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship at stake. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein. Hope you're enjoying ESPN's Championship Boxing. The 3 Olympians, Eric Morrell, Floyd Mayweather, and David Diaz all won. And still to come, we will bring you a replay of the Riddick-Bowe-Andrew Galata matchup from earlier this summer.
Though round 1 was an excellent one for Tapia, he did land only 1 of 24 jabs, and they would certainly want that to improve. But that's when you're fighting a taller guy who's farther back. It's tough to get that punch in. He's got to double up with it. Tapia switching to lefty, which he sometimes does.
Round 1, the punches.
Johnny Tapia throwing a lot more, landing only a few more, but if he's going to throw 15 more punches than Cruz in every round, I assure you he'll win this fight. And Tapia's doing a smart thing by trying to go to the body here, land something. There's the hook downstairs I talked about. And that got Cruz's attention already. I can assure you now, early in this bout, that if Tapia goes downstairs with that hook a lot, he will win this fight by knockout.
We gave you Tapia's last fight from Las Vegas on October the 11th. Stopped Sammy Stewart in the 7th round. We thought it was a quick stoppage.
Cruz missing with the hook and paid the price. This is, you know, we see two different Johnny Tapias. We see the Tapia that's a boxer, almost looks a little more passive, and then he explodes. This is the intense Johnny Tapia who's ready to explode any second and who wants to throw power punches. Now, they worked on his jab coming into the spot. They wanted more of a power jab in Dub Huntley, his trainer. He's not showing that so much. He's throwing a jab that's more of a rangefinder.
And he shoves Cruz away with 40 seconds to go in round 2.
Now, make no mistake, he is fired up for this time.
So am I.
It's always fun to come to this town. The boxing fans show so much enthusiasm. And you know what? I can almost feel my toes now. So that's good. A little chilly in this arena, as we've told you.
We're seated right on ice where the IHL hockey team plays.
Tapia a little annoyed that he can't get to Adonis Cruz.
And he is mad at Cruz for holding. He lets the referee know round 2 to an end.
Here's the exchange at the end of the round that got Tapia a little distressed, getting hit behind the head, and then gives him a backhand and says to the referee, he can't hit me behind the head. I'll do something back to him.
And with that, round number 3 is underway. You mentioned in round 2, Tapia caught the attention of Cruz, the chant of Johnny here in Albuquerque.
You know, Tapia has had 4 different trainers in the last year, which is astonishing. Dub Huntley is the latest, and he has worked with Huntley to try and get power back into his game, although he's certainly shown some power, but in recent fights, he doesn't feel like he has been powerful enough. And he's throwing mostly power shots in this bout.
Well, we mentioned it in that fight against Sammy Stewart, even though it was stopped in the 7th round, it was a little quick. He never really hurt Stewart. There's a left.
That's the hook. That's his punch, and that stunned Cruz.
In the corner of Adonis Cruz, the former champion Alexis Arguello, who is with the government of Nicaragua, an official in their sport, and he felt that Cruz would beat Tapia. He felt that strongly, and Tapia and his people said, you know, it's always the guy outside of the ring that thinks that can be beaten.
Well, he's got a lot of confidence in his young charge. That man, Alexis Arguello, one of the absolute greatest champions ever in the sport of boxing.
And what a nice guy.
Terrific guy. And he fought all the best in the 70s and late and early 80s. I mean, spectacular performances by him.
When's he coming back?
Well, he tried once on ESPN here against Scott Walker and decided against it then.
Finished his career at 80-8.
Fought all the great ones. Right now, his young charge, Adonis Cruz, trying to get off offensively. Cruz has been unable to get anything going offensively. He has really not gotten to Tapia. Not been able to counterpunch Tapia as he comes in. There he misses the right hand.
Valued scorecard through 2.
I have given Tapia both of these rounds. I thought he won both of them rather easily. There's the hooks downstairs from Tapia. I mentioned those in my keys to victory. Those are absolutely essential for him. Very few boxers in the lower weight divisions have a better hook to the body or the head than Tapia. Ironically, one of the men who might be in the category with him is Danny Romero, the other terrific champion from Albuquerque. His hook is great, too.
Well, although Tapia gets a rise out of the crowd with that hook, Cruz did block it. Cruz just can't seem to get going. You wonder if the cold temperatures here in the arena have something to do with someone who has never fought before out of Nicaragua. If you're not familiar, to the right is the state flag of New Mexico. We're in Albuquerque, round 4 underway. Johnny Tapia and Adonis Cruz. Tapia making the 9th defense of his WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship. Don't forget, coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, college football, Vanderbilt and Tennessee. Ron Franklin and Mike Godfrey with the call. In round 3, Al, the numbers.
We see that Tapia with not a huge edge in punches landed, but throwing a lot of power punches in that round.
Wild sequence. And Tapia looking to push in. Their heads come together. I think that was the fault of both of them. Tapia has 2 fourth-round knockouts in his career. Cruz has none. 7 of Cruz's, or 8 of Cruz's 13 career knockouts have come in the first 3 rounds.
You know, toward the end of the last round, Cruz was starting to get that right hand a little closer to Tapia, maybe grazed him with a couple. That's the punch he wants to get in against Tapia as he's coming in. He's finding the range better with it. That one missed again, but Cruz at least is getting in a position to throw it. Cruz is doing a good defensive job. We got to give him credit for that. It's just that offensively he's done so little, it would be almost impossible to give him these rounds. He's coming and trying to take a guy's championship. He's got to do a little better than that.
Midway point of round number 4.
See, Tapia is not jabbing enough. He's in against the taller guys. Maybe hard to land the jab, but he's got to jab his way in a little better and then work when he's in there. Like that. Oh, he hurt him. Yeah. All off the jab.
Buckled. Al Martinez stepping in.
I don't know what that was all about. It ruined the momentum of Tapia. Gave Cruz a little rest there.
And there's no standing 8 count under WBO rules. Tapia finding the power range here in round 4.
Adonis Cruz now very much in a prevent defense mode in this round after he was stunned. He wants to just get through this round. 27 punches are all that has been thrown by Cruz here.
Johnny switches to lefty and fires the left.
He was looking for that hook and just kind of turned around, trying to get that punch in.
Well, he has as many moves as Michael Jordan
He
sometimes.
really does. Sometimes very unorthodox, but frequently they work.
That is the end of round number 4. A good one for Johnny Tapia. The fans here in Albuquerque like it. He rocked Cruz. We take it to Tapia's corner.
Hey, don't say nothing about the headbutt. Don't say nothing about the headbutt, baby. You're all right. You're all right. Okay, you keep fighting. Keep fighting for this man.
Now here's the headbutt.
Here's a clash of heads where both their heads came together. I mean, I don't think that was anyone's fault. That was a clash of heads. Tapia was coming in, and they both had their heads up. Well, this is the first time Adonis Cruz has ever been outside of Nicaragua fighting. It's his first championship bout, and in truth, he looks a little awed by the whole situation.
Round number 5 is underway. Johnny Tapia, 29 years of age. Adonis Cruz, 26 years of age. Cruz the challenger. Tapia has 1 fifth-round knockout. Cruz has 2. Cruz has been knocked out once in May of '94, knocked out in the 8th round by Ignacio Aguilar. We know nothing about any of his opponents because they've all been in Nicaragua.
Yeah, most of his opponents are not well known up here, and often when these boxers come in from South America and Central America and you haven't had a chance to see them, usually they're tough customers. Now, Cruz has shown us that obviously he's got some skills, but he has been unable to really utilize them, I think, the way he wants in this bout.
Tapia started that sequence off with a good right to the rib. Cruz a little frustrated with being tied up. Through 4 rounds, out the numbers.
Johnny Tapia just about doubling the punch number landed by Cruz and throwing a lot more. Cruz has been pretty timid here. He thought about hitting Tapia behind the head and said, no. I got him upset the last time I did.
Seems to me that Cruz's biggest problem is that he does not have an authoritative enough jab.
He's not using that punch very effectively against Tapia. And if you're a tall fighter, you better use that punch, because otherwise you allow Tapia to walk right in. And there he does use it. Not all of them land. Tapia just drops his hand and says, I can get in anyway.
And then he hooks to the body. Again.
Both were low.
Yeah. And he will be warned. And a good warning.
Yes, absolutely. Al Martinez is correct. Crowd doesn't like it. Tapia doesn't like it. There were 2 straight low blows there.
Speaking of low blows, still to come. Riddick Bowe, Andrew Galata, their first meeting. We will show it to you. And next week in Atlantic City, when we're there on the Deuce on Friday night, we'll hear from Bowe, Galata, Rock Newman, and Lou Duva. Not all at once, hopefully.
Now, that was a championship segue by you. You know that?
The ESPN's championship box?
There you go.
Look at Adonis a little on the ends of polo, but he doesn't throw the right.
At 29 years old, Johnny Tapia is at the point in his career where his skills are right where they're going to be. He is just, I think, in the perfect position for a big fight like the Romero fight. And he is a crowd pleaser, isn't he? No matter what he does, it pleases the crowd.
Round 5 coming to an end. A lot of ill will in Albuquerque.
Thunder roars, the skies open, and excitement rains down at Rooty Hill RSL Club. Check out the sensational Vegas Lounge, where you could be showered with riches. Add sparkle to your visit with a stop by the Star Bar. Luck can strike.
4,500 people huddled close at the Tingley Coliseum in Albuquerque. It is cold outside and inside, but Johnny Tapia and Adonis Cruz are hot as they begin round number 6 in the scheduled 12-round WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship fight. Tapia, his 9th defense as he fights in front of the hometown fans.
An amazing statistic, as bad as Cruz has been. Oh, nice right hand by Johnny Tapia, and a caution for holding behind the head. As bad as Cruz's jab has been, Tapia, amazingly, has only landed 19 jabs. Cruz has landed 26 throughout this fight. So Tapia's power jab that he wanted to be there tonight, that's the one element of his performance that hasn't been there.
And although Cruz has thrown more and landed more of those jabs, Tapia has walked through them.
Oh, he really has, yeah. And that's not a good percentage either for Cruz. All the rest has belonged to Tapia. The body punches, the hooks, the power shots.
Last night on the Deuce, a win for Thomas Hearns and Roanoke, 5th round stoppage if you missed that. And I was calling my local cable operator here in New Mexico in Albuquerque last night saying, I want the Deuce.
You
get
see?
it in the hotel.
You followed the right instructions. Always a good thing to do.
Good hook to the body by Tapia. Cruz just has no offense.
He's not doing anything to keep Tapia. Tapia's not landing a high percentage of his punches, but he's throwing more, and at least he's landing something. Very timid performance by Adonis Cruz, and that's not going to get it done in this setting.
No, he has not taken the fight to Tapia. Oh, good shot inside by Tapia. That one landed. And he hooks to the body, but it's low. Last warning for Tapia for low blow. Al Martinez hasn't been wrong about those.
No, that last one was borderline, I thought, but in general, there have been some low blows by Tapia. He's been frustrated he hasn't been able to land those body shots.
The right from Cruz.
You know, back at around the 3rd round, Cruz was starting to get the range with the right hand. Then he just stopped throwing it, and it has not been a factor since then.
He got rocked. Round 6 to an end. Tapia and Cruz. This one scheduled for 12. Hope you're enjoying ESPN Championship Boxing.
May just barely be recovered from the round of golf he played with me at the Planet Hollywood Celebrity Golf Tournament this past weekend. I hope he's not in shock over that, and I hope he can call the game.
Well, considering, I don't know how Joe plays, but you were warning me last week about how poorly you play. Did you hurt anybody?
I play about once every 4 years, but luckily there were no injuries, and Joe carried us, so it was good.
I can see Joe showing up with a black eye from a shank on Deer Club Sunday night. Right now here in round 7, it's Johnny Tapia defending his WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship and receiving very little opposition from Adonis Cruz out of Nicaragua.
Tapia just walking in and not being met with resistance. Now, this is the round, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that he got Sammy Stewart in.
Yes, it was round 7.
And I think he's kind of waking up in this bout and saying, you know what, I'd like to get this over with. You know, he fought back in 1994. He had 2 fights in a row, 95, 2 fights in a row. The Vargas fight, which he ended up with a technical draw, where Vargas really performed very well against him, and against Arthur Johnson, a very close and some controversial 12-round decision. 2 tall fighters, Bob. He had a problem with them. They thought Adonis Cruz would do the same thing to him, but he's not been able to.
First 6 rounds, some numbers for you to digest.
Not a good percentage for Tapia. He can't be happy about that, but he is certainly winning the fight. He's ahead by a fairly substantial amount of punches, and he's thrown a lot more.
Cruz has no zip on at least 3/4 of those 255 punches thrown.
There's the jab of Tapia. He should use that punch more often. That and the hook.
Cruz countering off the ropes. Neither man connecting, although Cruz does land a shot. See, the crowd's cheering, but Tapia really didn't land anything there. It was Cruz who scored on that exchange.
Tapia's keeping his hands on too, but he'll like it if he can keep Cruz against those ropes, though, Tapia. He'll enjoy that. That'll help him. I'll tell you one thing about Adonis Cruz. His defensive skills are considerable. He has made Tapia miss more than most people do, because Tapia is a very quick-handed puncher. And it's hard to make a guy miss when he's throwing so many combinations. Something's got to land, but it's been hard for Tapia to land. He's frustrated now, Johnny Tapia.
Round 7 coming to an end. And a left from Tapia. This one's scheduled for 12. Back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein, 4,500 at the Tingley Coliseum. Earlier, Olympians Eric Morrell, Floyd Mayweather, and David Diaz were winners. Morrell a knockout win. Mayweather and Diaz get decisions. And here, Johnny Tapia defending for the 9th time his WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship against Adonis Cruz. It has been all Tapia. Although, Al, you know what? In round 7, I gave it to Cruz.
I did as well. I thought that Adonis Cruz did a good job in that round. He out-jabbed Tapia 11-8 in that round. And here's the total punches in that round. Let's illustrate. It was a very close round. Could have gone either way, but we gave it to Cruz. And for one thing, that was one of the few rounds in which Cruz actually threw as many punches as Tapia, the exact same amount. It always amazes me, the odds of fighters throwing the exact same amount of punches in rounds. It's extraordinary to me, yet we know it's true. Good right by Cruz. He's counter-punching better, I got to tell you. And he's frustrating Johnny Tapia.
I think Cruz uncovered something in the last round, and I think he feels he can do some things over these next few rounds. The way he bounced at the end of round 7.
Well, he's landing some right hands, which he could have done earlier, I think, if he'd thrown them. Tapia not jabbing his way in, you see, just not throwing that punch.
Cruz not a big knockout artist. He has 13 in his previous 28 fights, and he has none past round 7. Tapia has 5 past the 7th round.
Cruz going into the body, which is rare. Right hands. Now remember how wobbled Cruz was 3 or 4 rounds ago. Now Tapia's getting back to him with that right hand.
But a few of those punches landed, not as many as the crowd would like.
Now Cruz showing some bravado here. But meanwhile, he's the one taking the punches.
I don't think he feels Tapia can really hurt him. And I think he knows that Tapia is missing more than what the crowd might think, but he's still making enough connects to win.
I'm going to tell you something about Johnny Tapia, though. The punches he landed against him were primarily straight right hands. His big power punch is the hook. If he hits Cruz, hits him with a big hook, he'll hurt him again like he did a few rounds ago.
Cruz seemed to be mimicking Tapia.
Well, he's showing some bravado, but he's got to land some punches to go along with that. He's got hit with the left hook there.
Power and hand speed are two things Cruz lacks.
Johnny Tapia is short-changing himself by not getting in position to throw the hook more.
Good right by Tapia. And look at Cruz, he says, no problem. Round 8 to an end.
Well, emotions are running high after the right hand. Adonis Cruz says, you didn't hurt me. So they get into a little exchange here and talking to each other, and it's almost as if Tapia says, hey, that was kind of nice. I like that show of emotion. Never anything ordinary in a Johnny Tapia fight.
Round 9 underway.
They're moving pretty fast there, too.
Yeah. Good combination from Tapia.
Well, Adonis Cruz can show all the macho he wants. He's getting nailed with big punches now by Tapia.
Some more numbers.
The overall picture shows it's not a tremendous edge for Tapia, but it's a pretty substantial one in terms of the fact that he's throwing more punches as well. Now, that's a very nice right hand. You may say to yourself, why didn't that hurt him? He was hurt earlier. Because the punch that Tapia throws, the guys with good chins will be hurt by the left hook of Tapia, not so much the right hand.
Cruz blocked that left.
But if you found an opening for the right, you should continue throwing it, which is what Tapia is doing.
After 8 rounds, Al, your number on the card.
I have only given 1 round to Adonis Cruz. I have it 79-74. If in fact that would be an accurate.
Should be 79-73.
Yes, that's what it really should be. Because I've only given 1 round to it, which would be 79-73.
7 times 9 is 63 plus
yes.
10 would make
I bear no. Normally, I take responsibility for errors in arithmetic.
One minute to go in round 9. Been a pretty clean fight.
I have 2 weak areas, math and golf. You know.
Math we could rectify.
Golf, I think I'm hopeless in that
Thing called a calculator. There's no offense from Adonis Cruz.
Johnny Tapia has been given a pass in this round, really, because Cruz has not done much. Tapia's done enough probably to win it, even though it hasn't been that dramatic. He's landed some nice right hands, Tapia. There's a good right by Cruz getting in.
Tapia says good shot.
Tapia's standing straighter up now. Not bending at the waist like he should.
Round 9 to an end. 3 more to go in Johnny Tapia's ninth title defense.
Those are the hands of Chuck Bodak working working on the cut over Johnny Tapia's left eye. That's in kind of a bad spot, putting pressure on it, then the coagulant to try and keep the bleeding under control.
Yeah, but before the round even started, round 10, Tapia brushed it aside with his glove. Tapia clearly in control of this fight. Cruz has gotten better as the fight's gone on, no question about it, but he's done so little offensively.
And the cut is bothering Tapia. Now, Tapia claimed it came from a clash of heads. I saw no sign of that. If that's true, they would go to the scorecards if the fight had to be stopped. But if it is not from a clash of heads, then Tapia could lose from that cut. Adonis Cruz with a very good round in round 9. Ended up with more punches landed. So apparently he did enough in that round.
But the way we see it, even if he swept this round, the 11th and 12th, he'd probably still lose the unanimous decision because the first 6 rounds were clearly Tapia.
He was in control. Cruz hits him. Well, Martinez didn't break him, so Cruz hit him. Tapia is going to the wrong weapon here, though. He can land the right hand, but he should be stepping to his left and throwing that hook. That's the punch that hurt Cruz early in the bout. That's the punch that could hurt him again, and he has not thrown it to the body. Johnny Tapia has totally abandoned his body attack.
Alexis Arguello did say if Tapia is not in tip-top shape, he could be in trouble because Cruz is in tremendous condition.
The right landing by Tapia, but again, I don't think he's going to knock him out with that right. Nice uppercut, though.
Minutes to go in round 10.
Having a good round for himself, Tapia. Less movement from Adonis Cruz than we saw early in the bout. Cruz is a good defensive fighter. Now, he taps Tapia like he's supposed to break, but you know what? That's Al Martinez's job.
Cruz is doing a lot of mugging, a lot of great defense, blocking those kind of punches, but he's not scoring.
Well, for all that, you're right. Cruz is doing nothing to win the round. Getting his crowd kind of revved up, and they're creating an interesting emotional display, but that's about it.
Hope you're enjoying it. ESPN's Championship Boxing, 2 more rounds to go. Take it to the corner of Johnny Tapia.
Don't worry about a thing. You do what? Close your eyes. That's the water. Hold it down. Relax.
Now, let's take a look back before we have this fight begin here.
Well, I talked about using the power jabs. Tapia has not done that. Hook to the body. He has stopped doing that. For Cruz, stay focused. Really, he has done that. And he has used his height. Ironically, despite the fact that Cruz has maybe done his keys better, Tapia found other things to replace those keys to victory. The straight right hand, other body shots. And so Tapia has actually gotten the job done. Johnny Tapia using the right hand instead. Now, he didn't hurt Cruz badly with those punches, but landed them. And then no break from Al Martinez, so he decides to whack him one time.
And referee Al Martinez wants Tapia's shoe and sock tied up. We start round 11. For Cruz, he's only been past round 10 3 times in his career. Tapia has much more experience in later rounds.
Well, certainly Cruz is showing more confidence as this fight goes on. I don't think he's doing better, but he's showing more confidence.
Curious what the numbers were in the last round, round 10.
Tapia throwing, I think, nicer combinations now. Shoulder and hits him with the right. Al Martinez is blaming Tapia. That's his fault. If he wants him to break, he should get in there. Both fighters know now that Martinez's style is not to break them very often, so you got to really protect yourself as you move away. Well, as this bout has gone on, Cruz has gained confidence and done a few more things effectively. Opened up a cut over the left eye of Tapia, though I think that came from a clash of heads. But all in all, I don't think he's been effective enough to win this bout.
Fan of John E. from the hometown fans in Albuquerque. But Adonis Cruz is slick enough defensively and takes a good shot. And once again, you and I both don't feel he's winning.
Now, those two attributes have kept him in the bout. Both men showing some sportsmanship. There have been moments where that has not necessarily been the case, where they've been a little perturbed at each other.
See, no zip on Cruz's punches.
And in this round, even though Tapia's missing a lot of punches, but I just don't think Cruz is throwing that many or being that effective. Tapia's not worked on the inside like he should have. In fact, both men almost kind of agreeing to not work there. They're both tapping each other like, okay, let's break now. Tapia has underused his left hook so badly in this fight after starting out using it very well. It's really been a serious tactical error on his part.
Cruz with a right hand. Tapia just standing there.
Well,
no effect.
Tapia's letting him hit him. He shouldn't do that. Tapia's missing with the line, though.
Yeah. Cruz shaking those punches.
Adonis Cruz coming back in this round and having himself a pretty decent 11th round now.
Round 11 coming to an end. The 12th and final round. Still to come on ESPN's Championship Boxing. Welcome back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Bob Papa along with Al Bernstein, Adonis Cruz, and Johnny Tapia embrace to start the 12th and final round. And we're going to go.
They hugged to start this round off, and now they are both going at it in a wild fashion. Only in boxing.
You and I both feel Cruz needs a knockout to win.
Both men are really getting nothing done here, despite all this frenetic activity. Well, it was fun to watch anyway.
Look at Tapia. Tapia's loving it.
He better be careful about tapping gloves. The guy can hit him.
Cruz just lacks in power. Numbers in round 11.
Well, Cruz had a pretty good round there. I gave him the round. But I think he will need a knockout here to win this fight. That's the way we look at it. But, you know, the judges could be looking at it in a very different way. We have to say the punch numbers are a little closer. No one's thrown a jab. Well, there's the first one by Tapia. First jab in the round. And I got to say this for Adonis Cruz. Let's give him credit. He was hurt early. The early rounds Tapia dominated, but he has hung in there and gotten some things done. And it has turned into less than a perfect performance for Tapia in these last 6 rounds.
Go ahead, Al.
And I was going to say, and a lot of it chalks up to the fact that, you know what, they were right. It's another tall guy that Tapia's having some trouble dealing with his height. Again, Tapia got hurt in the eye from a clash of heads.
Cruz, a much slicker boxer than he looked.
He was timid early, but he picked up the beat in the middle part of the fight. Johnny Tapia trying to get the crowd into it. He better do some offensive work to get him into it.
1 minute to go.
Good hook. The hook is what Tapia should have been throwing all along, and he got it in.
And then Cruz answered with a right.
That was an excellent counter right hand by Cruz, but Tapia got to him with that hook, and that's the punch he should be throwing. Well, they're making this round 12 very entertaining.
They could have fought this 12th round in the proverbial phone booth. Been fun. Final 10 seconds of the 12th and final round.
Nice body work by Tapia. Where's that been? He stopped doing it for about 5 rounds.
Cruz and Tapia embrace. Good sportsmanship there. Now a wild 12th and final round. They just, a very unique start to a 12th round. Alexis Arguello raises Tapia's hand.
You know, it was indeed. He looks to this crowd, probably did get the win, and you won't see a 12th round with the kind of interesting drama that this one had too often. Here's the way it started. They went out, and I remember last time I saw this, they hugged. They didn't just touch gloves, they hugged. And then, after that, watch this. They just went crazy on each other.
Tapia 84, Cruz landed 39%, Tapia 41%. We are waiting the decision. And to the middle of the ring comes our ring announcer, Thomas Schreiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 exciting rounds of boxing, we have the results. Judge Al Munoz scores the bout 116 to 113. Judge Rocky Burke scores the bout 117 to 111. And Judge Hugo Panecci scores the bout 119 to 113. All in favor of your winner by unanimous decision, and still WBO Junior Bantamweight Champion of the World, Johnny the Babyface Assassin Tapia.
Johnny Tapia, a unanimous decision here in Albuquerque as he retains his WBO Junior Bantamweight Championship. Let's go up to the ring and Al Bernstein.
All right, we are here in the ring. A little chaotic here, but why not? Johnny Tapia defends his WBO crown. The family's here, Cameron Duncan. Johnny, it was tougher maybe toward the end than you thought. He got into the rhythm of the fight, and again, his height maybe seemed like a little bit of a problem.
It was a tough fight. First of all, I give a lot of thanks to the Lord for getting me here in Albuquerque safe. And when you're the champion, everybody wants to kick your butt, huh? And I gave him all I had. He gave me all he had. We put a terrific fight, and that's all I like.
All right. You know, but I want to ask you, because I don't want us to run out of time for this. There's been so much talk about you, Romero. It looks like it's going to happen. What are the chances?
I'm waiting. If he wants to, I'm here. If he doesn't, I won't. But I'm waiting for him. I've been telling him I want him. Whenever he wants me, I'll give my phone number to call me.
You've become a little more aggressive about this in the last couple of weeks. Why?
I'm pissed off. It's not all about. That's what he did to me in my past, and he talked a lot of bad stuff. I'm here, baby, and I'm here to stay.
All right, well, tremendous performance for you tonight, Johnny. You got the job done as always.
Thank you, Al. How's your marriage?
It's good. How about yours?
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, well, we're happy, guys. Johnny Tapia wins tonight, and we're both doing pretty well in the marriage department, too. Let's go to Bob Papa.
Top rank. We're #1, baby.
All right,